step he takes, he can't fight you, but he will open his mouth and he will be raining curses on you, the slave driver. The person that sells food to you, he will rain curses on the man. The place where you stop to sleep, so no, now they support these people. Your generations will never prosper. They'll keep cursing all the way until they are sold out. There are many people under the sound of my voice. Your family has heard the curses of slaves that were maltreated, and they have not heard the blessings of men. For many, many years, those slaves that were tortured in your family, every night they opened their mouths and rained curses. I preached on this here in Port Harcourt and prayed a prayer, oh God, open their eyes to see what is going on in their family. A young girl went to bed that night and came the next day shouting to the secretariat. Said there's a tree under a compound in the village. And last night God opened my eyes, to see a man buried under that tree. He was a skeleton. He had obviously been buried for many, many years, long before any of us was born. But even up till now in the dream, his mouth was still open and curses were still coming out of his mouth and entering all the houses in our compound and destroying them. Are you from a family that in any way profited from slave trade? Desolations are normal. Look, this thing I'm telling you, check all the ancient families that were known for slave trade. Tell me what progress they are making. Tell me what progress their children are making today. Compared to their progress and the name that they used to have, where are they today? The curse of slavery is taking place and finding expression. But beyond that, let me tell you, it's not just families. Some years ago, I went to Port Harcourt and I saw the grave of a man who was a medical doctor about 150 years ago. Port Harcourt, Calabar people saw enlightenment long time ago. But you remember that at a time, in fact, let me call a spade a spade. It was in the days of Donald Duke that Calabar started recovering. Am I talking to anybody here? And anybody who knows the amount of prayer and work that certain Christians, pastors, and ministries did for the recovery of Calabar, including the work done by the Intercessors for Africa, you will know that it was not a cheap assignment. At a time, Calabar that had such educated and wonderful people was known for witchcraft, houseboy, and girlfriend. If you're looking to Calabar, you're going for girlfriend. If you need houseboy, you send to Calabar. And of course, witches fly by daytime in some parts of Calabar in those days. Yet, what most people don't realize is that the first capital of Nigeria was Calabar. Another capital of Nigeria was Lokoja. Yet another capital of Nigeria was Badagry. Long before Lagos ever became capital, not to talk of Abuja. But these three places I mentioned that saw light, saw education, saw white men long before Lagos, where are they? In Badagry, which is still fly by daytime. Lokoja is just recovering now, picking up now, because ministers have been sent there to redeem the land. What brought a curse on all these locations? Slavery. All of these three places were slave ports. Take a tour of the coast of West Africa. Anywhere you find a slave port, desolations. Nothing is happening. I thank God for organizations like Intercessors for Africa. They've done a lot of work. But it's not over in many places. And many families don't know that what can pull down a city can mess up a family. Did your family sell slaves? Did your family buy slaves? Did your family profit from slave trade? Many years ago, before I became a pastor, I was in business. I was to fly to Germany from England, from London. And looking at where I would be by that time of day, I found, looking at the map, that there was an airport called Luton Airport in inner city London. Now, I had never been to that airport, but I found there was a flight from there to Germany. So I booked my flight to take off from there, assuming that with British Transport, once I come out of the train station, I would have a 5-minute bus ride to the airport. Do you know that on that day, I arrived at the station, only me got down from the train. That was shock number one. I stepped outside the station, huge houses, nobody. I said, where is everybody? Inside inner city London, where is everybody? They said, nobody here. That's how the place always is. I said, how can? Oh boy, can I get a taxi here? No taxis. Can I get a bus here? No bus. I started running with foot in the direction of the airport. I missed my flight, to cut a long story short. Many years later, I became born again and started asking questions. And I discovered that inner city London was built by the families that profited from slave trade. They developed that part of London, built factories, built industries, started doing well and closed up, all of them, because of the curse of desolations. So you enter that place, concrete jungle. Beautiful roads, beautiful houses, nobody, nothing. It's recently that churches began to move into inner city London in the past 10 years and began to pray, and life came to that place because the curse was broken. In days of old, some families were so poor that the father and mother decided, instead of bringing up 10 children, let's sell this girl and train the others. In Igbo land, which means they sold a girl. Go and check any family where they sold a girl like that. Nothing is working. What did your own family do? Who are you? Where do you come from? Hear me, child of God. These are things that if you don't look into, they continue to speak over a family and over the lives of people, and nobody knows what is going wrong. Now, in the light of this insight, let me ask you two questions. Currently, worldwide, the second highest income earner in criminal business after drug business is human trafficking. Selling young girls to go and become prostitutes in Europe, in Italy, in Saudi Arabia. And listen, it is happening everywhere in Nigeria. That is why if you're a young girl, it's no longer a matter of choice or no choice. You don't have a choice. If you want to be safe, please anchor yourself to Jesus. If you doubt what I'm saying, cross over to Niger Republic and see Nigerian girls on the ages of 16 to 30 stranded there. Somebody told them, I will take you to Europe. From here we'll cross to Libya, Libya to Italy. You have a job as a house girl. They'll be paying you in dollars. When they got to Niger, here, to sit down and be talking, they'll give you food to eat. The man is talking with somebody else. They say, I'm coming. He has disappeared and sold you. By tomorrow, the man tells you, oh yeah, that's your first customer. Customer what? You are a prostitute. Many of them, if anybody is looking for a sister and nobody knows where she is, you didn't find her body, go and look for her in Nigeria. I'm not laughing, it's not a funny thing. It is not a funny thing. Nowadays, night party, if they drop one small thing in your drink, you sleep, go, you wake up in Nigeria. What of number two? Kidnapping. Your son is kidnapping men and selling them. He's a slave trader. He's doing exactly what Judas did to Jesus. And I can prophesy, and I'm not a false prophet, it is Bible. Your family will end up in desolations. So if you're here and your brother is a kidnapper, go and report him to police by yourself, because he will wipe out your family. Am I communicating with anybody here? Anybody who is involved in kidnapping, you gave information that they used to come and kidnap somebody. They brought kidnapping money and you were the driver. You shared in the money. You're finished. You're finished. Your generations are finished. Your bishopric is gone. Your father's house will cave in. All these people who are practicing kidnapping and collecting 1 million, 5 million, 10 million today, after they have spent it, let's see what their generations will look like. They don't know the desolations they are bringing upon their own families. They are practicing slave trade, buying and selling human beings. Praise the living God. If there is any history of slave trade in your family, hear me, you need to cry out to God for deliverance. Your family has heard the voices or curses of slaves. You need to speak the mercy of God. The only antidote I know, thank God for people like Dr. Emeka Mampadem, who have researched to this area so much and done so much work in this area. The only antidote I know for the curse of slavery is 30 pieces of silver. Jesus exchanged on the day he was sold for 30 pieces of silver to slavery unto death, that you and I would never go into slavery. If you find a curse of slavery in your family, when you pray, plead 30 pieces of silver. That's the exchange rate that brings liberty